I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. I'm the best landscaper in the world. You know it, I know it, your grandma knows it. My cameraman knows it. What my cameraman doesn't know is that he's fired.
This is the worst job I have probably ever worked in my entire...
Fired.
Okay, I'm gone.
I have a tripod anyway, I don't need you. Look, I've had this machine going on 3 years. I've had this machine going on not even one. I've had it for like 7 months. Which machine do you need more? Do you need this one more? Or do you need this one more? Now they both have their own superpowers. I'm gonna tell you is which one I would prefer most in the beginning. The very first tractor you need to buy obviously is the little one, a little 3-foot sk1550, 1050, whatever, whichever one you want to buy. These are not it. These are not your first ones unless you live in a very, very big area where your yards are wide open. I know my friends in Colorado. I know some of my friends in Montana, Wyoming, big states with big properties. You don't really need a little guy. You don't have tight areas. You can fit this machine anywhere. So if you live in that area, this is the machine for you. But if you live in an area like California, Illinois, New York, Florida, this little guy is probably gonna be the move. Now, after you get the little 850, the 3-inch, the 36-inch, now what do? I would go straight to this one. Me personally, because I already have a little guy, I'd go, well, actually right now I don't have a little guy because I gave it away. So we did a very fun competition about giving away the SK850 on April 17th. Hartman won it and Patrick took it home because he bought it off of Hartman. Now, here's the kicker. The dealer, Ditch Witch, told me they're going to have a new one for me on 4/27, April 27th. I was like, okay, cool. I'll do the competition a week before. We'll be good. Dude, I still don't have the machine. Still don't have it. So now he said it's pushed back a month, 5/27. I said, all right. So now I have been with no little machine for literally a month and a half. But we've been able to manage because this job has big access, and the job we're on with the big plants, all that stuff, that also has big access in the front yard. So I got lucky on that one. I planned it accordingly. However, sometimes shit doesn't work out like that. Now, after you get the little guy, which one you get? The big one or the little one? I'm going to go and I'm going to tell you straight up. The easiest way to do it is you always get this one. Because I load semi-trucks. Not me personally, but we load semi-trucks. And it's very important to be able to do that at any given time. You have an area where it needs to be excavated. Instead of putting it here and going to rent a machine, you just go and load the truck up. Call the semi, be like, Rigo, bueno. I need a truck. He comes, load him up, he goes. Done. Now the 1550, yes, it's a very great machine. But comparing this one to this one, it's not really apples to apples. Comparing this one to an SK3000 is because the SK3000 does load the semi-truck, but it broke down with me using it for like 4 hours. This thing is a full-size machine. It's badass. It's safe. The SK3000, it is amazing. It really is. That machine, the visibility was incredible. You get the backup. This thing is a little bit tricky to back up because even though you got the camera and all that stuff, even though it's still, you got to be careful. The other one, you just turn backwards and you go, and you just back up. No big deal. For you note takers out there, which I doubt any of you take notes on anything because you guys are construction workers. 3 reasons why I would pick this one over that. Numero uno is it can pick up a pallet of pavers. Number 2, it can load a semi-truck. And number 3, it's much safer. This one is way safer than that one. Now let's go over some very cool features on both of these machines. Number 1 quirk is it has a door. And this door opens up to a motor. And the motor has a filter. This is the engine oil and the fuel filter and coolant filter all in one. That's a quirk. No other machine in the history of machines has all 3 filters in one. Number 2, the air filter acts as a turbocharger. When you want to race someone, you want to smoke a Honda Civic, you turn on the air filter turbocharger and this thing just goes. But on some reels though, this thing is pretty badass. The motor is very nice. One of the most reliable motors ever. The advantages of Caterpillar versus DW is obviously the customer service. Caterpillar will literally do whatever necessary to get this thing back on the road. They'll charge a pretty penny, of course. They charged me $5,000 for a new pair of tracks and a 1,000-hour oil change. But they got me that machine back in 4 days. It's unheard of. Ditch Witch, it would have took 4 weeks. I mean, this thing is just very, very sturdy. I got the weight kit on the back. I also got the weight kit on the ditch witch. There are grease fittings on this machine. There are no grease fittings on this machine. It's just strange. If you live in Minnesota or New York, you can get this as a closed cab option and it'll be heated. We live in Naziland, California, where we have no rights and everything is good. And we're very happy here because the weather's 75 degrees and beautiful. So I decided not to get the $10,000 option of getting a cab. I didn't need it. It's always beautiful in California. This is not a full review, but let's jump over to the Ditch Witch and I'll tell you exactly what I think about that one. Obviously, number one is the visibility. This thing, the visibility compared to this is bar none. You have 360-degree view. It's really easy to back up. Really easy to back up. This thing is tricky to back up. This machine is really nice in tight areas. It allows you to maneuver. There's a cat running. Oh, wow. Hey. Not as good as my cat. That's fun. So as I mentioned, the weight kit on the Catapila. I also have a weight kit on the ditch. And this, you're able to lift more than normally. You can lift almost a full pallet. You can drag around a full pallet, but if you want to lift it up in the air, you have to take the first layer off. But you already know that. Pretty simple. The ditch is great. It gets the job done. However, you guys have seen, this thing has popped the sprocket off on the drive sprocket 3 times already, and it's moving again. Come over here, I'll show you. When I first got it, I told Jose, I'm like, take a grinder and just mark a straight line across to make sure that this nut is not moving. Look at this, come over here. Here's the line, okay? And this was where the other line was. So this screw literally rotated about ½ an inch. It just goes to show that the cat was much better engineered and thought out versus this one. It was just thrown together. I don't know why they thought it'd be a good idea to hold the entire drive sprocket on one bolt. Engineers, what were you thinking? But on the 3000, it's built exactly like the Caterpillar. It's all, there's a bunch of bolts surrounding it. This is the dumbest design ever. Stupid. Now, you see this? Look at all these bolts. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 12 bolts holding on the drive sprocket. Now, all in all, which one do you recommend, T-Money? Very simple instructions. Now, I'm going to tell you this because I'm the most handsome landscaper you're ever going to see on the planet of the history of the world. Mars, Jupiter, the equator, Ecuador, Mexico, all those in one. The best. T, which one do I get first? I told you. The 36-inch is the one you get first. Number 2, this one, second. Number 3, this one, third. That's it. That's the only order you want. You want a 36-inch, you want a dump trailer, and you need a truck to tow it. That's it. Second, the same dump trailer will tow this. The same dump trailer will tow this. You need to have steps in business. Don't be skipping steps. Don't be getting this thing without the little guy. You need the little guy first. The little guy needs to go around houses and tight spaces so your guys aren't wasting time with shovels and picks. Okay? Ideally, just bite the bullet and get the little Ditch Witch and get this thing right away. If you're really ballsy, if you really got big nuts, you get all 3 at the same time in cash. No, don't use your cash. Now, I did make a video a few months back about track loader versus wheel loader. Cameron will link it somewhere here. He just got his job back. He begged me. He's like, please, I have 6 kids on the way. I need my job.
I'm going to finish this video. Get out of here. Get out of here. Point being, this is the machine that you want to get, okay? Like Tigran said, 850 first. It's a really important machine. Do they even make the 850 anymore?
No, it's a 1050.
So now it's a 1050, which is actually even better because it's the same size, but it can lift more. So then you're going to want the Cat 259, and then you're going to get the Ditch Witch 1550. Okay? Just letting you know.
Good job, Cam.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to tell them?
These machines are really great and all, and if you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to afford one of these machines, join Goken, because Tigran's going to be giving both of them away at some point in time.
Hey, but also, how you say things to yourself will really determine your future. So if you always say, I can't afford a machine like this, you'll never be able to afford a machine like this. When I was 16, 17, and you asked me, dude, are you ever going to buy one of these? I would have said the same thing. I'm like, no, I don't know how to do it. I can't afford it. It's too much money. It's not that hard. You just need a little commitment. You need a little courage. And you need an example. And that's what Goking is all about. It's an example. How are you supposed to do things? When you want to learn a backflip, you're not going to learn it by just trying and trying and trying. I'm like, yo, dude, show me how to backflip. I'll do it. To the people saying, yo, T, you plug too much about Goking. Listen, Buster, you don't plug anything about nothing. That's why you're broke ass bitch. The people that don't plug, they're always complaining. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no equipment. They ain't got no jobs. They ain't got no employees. Their wife sucks. Their husband sucks. It's because you don't plug. Once you plug, all those problems go away. One plug a day will keep a doctor away. Bye-bye.